Hey guys, welcome back. Today I thought I'd just do a video on tools that I use because I get a lot of people asking in my group, what do I need? Where do I get it? All those kinds of things. So in front of me on the table that you can't see, I have a whole bunch of stuff I want to go through. So we're going to start with marking your fabric. These are the two main things that I use and just a normal pen. So on the back of the fabric is where I always trace out the pattern, and I usually just use a normal pen for that. Lots of people advise against that. I'm fine with it. The other two things that I use to mark are both removable. So like when you're marking strapped placement or anything like that, I use this, which is a friction pen, and I've actually got one here in a packet. So they're Pilot erasable pens. They've got a little rubber bit on the end that if you rub it erases, but I don't use that because it tends to smudge. I actually just use an iron if I ever need to get it off. So you can buy these at Woolies or Woolworths, Coles, Officeworks. Most stationery places have these. You can buy them in packs of 3s. They come in blue, red, purple, and black, I believe. I tend to just stick to blue. I think that's the most vibrant one of all the ones. I didn't like the purple and the black you can't see in a lot of things. So that's that. And then this is a Chaco pen or Choco pen. I don't know how to pronounce it. But basically it's got chalk dust in it. And then when you take the lid off, mine's a bit dirty, but you ignore that. It's got this little wheel in the end. There's just little teeth in the end there. And so as it rolls, it disperses. There you go, it even worked in my hand. It disperses a line of chalk dust that is great for marking because when you finish, you can just rub it off. It's just chalk. I sell these on my website. They are, I don't know, they're not overly expensive, but they last a really long time. So those are my favorite marking things. Another thing that I think all bag makers should have are wonder clips. So if you don't know what these are just really strong little clips that you use to hold everything together, because most bags are made with vinyl, and so you don't put pins in vinyl. Once you put a hole in a vinyl, it's kind of there forever. So to get around that, these clips will hold everything together. These are also better than pins because they're quicker to put on and remove, and you can buy them by the truckload. So I've got well over 100 in here. And you can buy them on eBay. I think Spotlight sells some. I don't know. You can get them from everywhere and they're awesome. Another thing you'll need is a lighter, which might seem odd, but just bear with me on this. When you're making a bag on a strap on the outside, you're always going to have a little bit of a raw edge of your thread. So I use the lighter to singe mine. I use a nylon thread, so bonded nylon, so it melts down really, really well. One tip with this though is when you're burning things, you burn it into the blue flame, not the yellow part of the flame, because then it won't change color and burn it. It just melts it down. So another great item. These are a couple of the other things I use. I just got this today. I'm very excited. I did have a dodgy Spotlight one, but this one is much, much prettier. But it's an awl. So basically it's to stab holes. So it's really good if you're putting in snaps or rivets, or I also help it to unpick things if I just want to pull the threads out, because I don't use an unpicker. The other end is also an awl. So you can find these at cool little craft markets. My mate bought one as well, and she wanted the quick unpick. So we swapped, and she's got 2 quick unpicks, and I've got 2 sew alls. So I love these things. I actually use mine a lot. I also use it when weeding stickers and the HTV and everything. But you do use it in bag making. It is super handy, so they're worth getting. And the Spotlight ones are $3 or $4. They're not expensive. And I'm sure you could find funky ones on eBay as well. Snips is another thing I use. So instead of every time I need to snip a thread, instead of grabbing a giant pair of scissors, I've just got these attached to the top of my machine on a magnet. So I bought the magnet from Bunnings. You can buy 2 or 3 in a pack for $5. And I've blue tacked it to my machine because I'm classy like that. And so, yeah, I go through a lot of these because they go blunt fairly quickly, but I buy them and they're like $1 or $2 or something. So they're worth it. So snips and then scissors. So I'm going to talk about scissors because lots of people ask me about my scissors. I have a lot of scissors. These are all my scissors. But I got them all for different purposes. So they all do different stuff. So these are pinking shears, or as I like to call them, zigzag scissors. So the teeth are literally a zigzag. So I use these to cut off bulk, especially around corners, because it helps it to be flexible instead of having to go in and clip all the time. These are the Triumph brand from Spotlight. A better version. So there's like, Spotlight's got this motto of good, better, best. These are the better ones. Their basic model are the Semco ones, but I find that they don't cut fabric, so don't waste your money. You'll just end up taking them back. These are the Triumph ones, so I think these are about $28-ish, I think. I don't know, but I will put links in the description box for everything on my table. And then the best ones that I would recommend would actually be Fiskars. So I'm probably going to upgrade to them because these are nearly spent. But in saying that, I've had them for a good 3 years and I don't look after them. I know that's a really bad thing to say, but it's true. I haven't looked after them well. I just cut into anything. I've cut through zippers and 6 layers of stuff and just, yeah. They've lasted pretty well. The next lot of scissors I've got are Fiskars. So these are my spring-loaded scissors. So they've got this little bit here that you slide back and then they spring open. So these are really good if you're doing a lot of cutting or if you've got hand issues like arthritis or RSI or carpal tunnel, anything like that. These are really good because they take out half of your workload because they spring open again. You don't have to open them. So I cut all of my fabric and interfacing with this. And then these ones I use to cut bag foam and leather because they're just a little bit heavier. And you probably could get away with using everything for this. But these ones I also cut the layers down with. So I like my Class A. So these are the knife point ones. Again, I will put a link in the description to the Spotlight website and all the bits. And then the third pair of scissors I have, so these were the Class A ones that I was using, but they eventually got blunt and I paid somebody to sharpen them 2 or 3 times and I've now just given up. So these are my zipper cutting scissors and plastics and packaging and things like that. So those are the scissors, never touch anything but fabric, vinyl, leather, and bag foam. These ones cut all my zippers up and then cut my paper templates and then I laminate them and then I cut them again with these scissors. So these are like basic kitchen scissors now, but I downgrade them. So once these are beyond use or I need a new pair of scissors, I will probably downgrade these ones to the zipper scissors and replace these ones. But it won't be for a few years because I can still sharpen these. The last pair of scissors I have, if you've watched any of my videos, you see these ones pop up a lot. So these were $4 from Bunnings. You might go, why waste your money on $4 scissors? But these are very, very good. So I got them for embroidery because most embroidery scissors are like this big and not helpful at all. They're my child's scissors, but he likes to keep his with mine. So these, you've got like a nice handle to hold on to, and they were designed to cut trimmings off trees. So they are very sharp. I can easily cut through 2 layers of vinyl with these, and it's not an issue at all. It doesn't snag, it doesn't anything. So for $4, Bunnings is on a roll. All right, we've done that. Okay, other things you'll need in bag making. Well, it's not so much that you need it, but it definitely makes it easier. So, craft knife. Basically, just a pointy Stanley knife, but it's like extra pointy. So a Stanley knife would be a wider blade. This is nice and skinny. So this is what I use to cut holes for my bag feet, holes for my magnets. Sometimes I use the blade to cut through unpicking, so you can just kind of slot the blade in and slice it up, and it unpicks very, very quickly with less damage than a quick unpick. So I've had this same blade in here for 3 years and it's still good because I use it a lot but not intensely. Oh, actually, this might be my second blade. No, I think this is my second blade. But in 3 years, that's still pretty good. You can buy them, again, in Spotlight. So this is from the scrapbooking section, but there's also some in the sewing section of Spotlight. You can get them online. You can probably get really funky ones. Once I upgrade, I might get one with like a cool handle to, you know, match my other cool stuff that I've got going on. But yeah, super, super handy. Make sure you get one with a lid or that's retractable so that you don't stab yourself, because I keep mine in with my pens. So if it didn't have a lid, I would definitely stab myself a lot, which is not ideal. All right, 2 more things, and, oh no, 3 more things, and then we'll stop the video, because you're probably sick of me talking. But, rulers. I own a lot of rulers. I keep thinking, oh, this one will be better. Oh, this one. No. So these 3 rulers are pretty much all I ever use for bag making. This one is 6.5 by 24 inches. So this is really good for measuring out my handles, because I make my handles 24 inches on pretty much all my bags. I alter whatever the pattern says and do 24 inches because it's a nice height to get over your shoulder. Highly recommend getting one of these. This, I think, this is a so easy one. It's laser cut. I don't know. They're just really cool. You can get birch versions that are 24, but I think they're only 6 wide, not 6.5, but they are amazing. If you make a lot of the NCW wallet by Emmeline patterns, the 1-inch ruler is amazing. So I use this ruler every time I make a wallet, pretty much, or one of those wallets. It's 24 inches long. Oh, no, it's not. It's 14 inches long. Sorry, I'm a little bit tired. I put on a lot of makeup so I can hide it, but I'm very tired. 14 inches long and 1 inch wide. So it's a good height. The 1 inch is helpful to just measure things. It's also, because it's little, I use this to measure where I'm going to put all my rivets in, because it's a little easy thing to hold. Whereas the other ones are a lot bulkier. This one's quite easy maneuver. So again, this is So Easy brand. I don't necessarily have a preference in brand of rulers. It's just what I could find at the shop at the time. So I wanted a 1-inch ruler, so that's what I could see. And then this is 14 by 4 inches. So this is literally the size I make wristlet straps. So if I'm making it out of all fabric or all vinyl, I can literally just trace around this ruler. So this is the one you'll see me use a lot for pocket pieces, and ruling out zipper lines and everything like that. So these are the 3. I probably use these 2 more on camera, so you don't really see me use the big one, but when cutting, it's mainly the big one, and then these are for like doing stuff at the sewing machine. Right. Lots of people ask, are cam presses worth it? My answer is hell yes. They are expensive. They do go on sale. In Australia, you can get them from Green Beans Australia, so gbau.com.au. No, they do not sponsor me. That's where I know to get them from. And so basically, once you've got the press, you can buy all these different dies. So they all just kind of screw in. So then you can take them out and you can replace it. So these ones are specifically for rivets. I've also got a set for the grommets or eyelets that are 12 mil or half an inch, depending on how you work. I've also got a die that cuts the 12 mil hole for the grommets, and I've got another one. Oh, I've got the cam snap. So the plastic press studs, I've got dies to do them as well. And I've got metal ones. So I've got metal, basically metal cam presses, snap tabs, but they're metal. So I have those as well. So I've got a different die for all of those. So once you buy the machine, you can just then start buying the dies individually as you need them. So I do highly recommend it. But as soon as you get that, you're going to need a hole punch to punch the holes for the rivets and stuff. So this one was like $18 from Bunnings. Again, Bunnings for the win, because Spotlight's got the exact same one. It's like $35. So as a bargain shopper that I am, Bunnings for the win. So yeah, the only other thing I really use in the camera is my flute cleaner, which again is a weird tool to have in the sewing room, but it's basically to poke through the corners. It turns through loops and straps for me. So I used to make a lot of those retro aprons. I've done a video of them. And so this was the most amazing thing to turn straps inside out. I also use it in the NCW to push along the seams, and I use it probably a lot more off camera than on, but to push out all the corners. So I will see if I can find a description in some kind of a music shop or something, but it's just a wooden flute cleaner. So yes, I hope that was somewhat helpful. I don't think I've missed anything else. Oh, lots of people ask me about my thread too. So I use M40 bonded nylon. Now I think, but don't hold me to this, I think M40 translates in America to Tex 69 or Tex 70. But in America, Sunny Sewing Machines sells you the thread, and they've got the rainbow one. I'm very jealous. I want some rainbow thread. But yeah, so in Australia, I use Vardman threads. They are currently experiencing issues getting their stuff from China. So they're out of like black, white, and red, I think. But I will be sticking with them. I have tried a lot of thread. I've tried stuff on eBay. I've tried stuff from AliExpress. I've tried all different ones, and they're just not as bonded as they say. So what that means is that this will unravel as you're trying to thread it through the needle. It's just not ideal. So I'm sticking with what's basically safe. And it's not that expensive to buy it, and you can get really, really big cones, and they have really good colors. Yeah. Oh, this thing here, I'm getting sidetracked again, I know. So this is my zipper pull thing. It's basically just a fork that's attached to a clamp. My husband is currently out field doing, I don't know, training exercises, but when he gets back, he did say that he will let me record him making another one. Not that I need another one, but we'll do it so that you guys can see how to make your own. But you can buy them. They're called zipper jigs. There's some people, I think on Etsy at the moment, people are doing like fancy forks and then mounting them to a block of wood so that you can just sit it on your table. Or you can buy like the proper official zipper jig, but they're about $50 odd from Australia to wherever they were that I found them that one time, and then decided I didn't want it. But yeah, so I will do a video on this for you guys, and I'm pretty sure most of you already know about using double-sided tape. This one is 25 meters from the reject shop, and it's like $2.50. So I don't use super fancy tape. It's just standard double-sided tape. But yeah, so those are I know that seems like a lot of tools, but if you have all of that, I don't think you're really going to want for any other tools while sewing handbags anyway. And your needle size matters as well. So I run a size 18 in this machine here. And if I'm ever using the really, really big heavy duty one, because I need to get through the layers, I actually run a size 22 needle through that. So bags require thicker needles because you're trying to punch through more layers. You can get non-stick needles as well. So for those that are worried about the double-sided tape and it gumming up and snapping your needle, it can happen. But a way to avoid that is to buy non-stick needles. If you're on a domestic machine, I highly recommend either using leather needles if you're doing like a lot of vinyl, or even like a heavy jeans needle, like 100, a jeans needle in size 100. That would help too. And Teflon feet. Oh, see, I'm going off a tangent again. Right. So I run a Teflon foot, which is my funky yellow one that you always see on my machine. I very rarely take it off, but on the occasion that I need a different foot, I have actually bought Teflon tape. So you literally just put it on, and then I use my craft knife to cut around the foot so it fits it perfectly. So now all of my, let's see if I've actually done one recently. But basically my other feet have now got a layer of Teflon tape along the bottom. I think I've only done my zipper foot and I can't find it right now. Ah, here we go. Right. So there's Teflon tape along the bottom of that, which helps it run along the vinyl. Also, if you're on a domestic machine, you can get a walking foot. They're like these awesome big chunky ones, and basically they've got feet that walk along the top as well. Quilters use them, but they're also super handy if you're going to sew a thick layer, so bags and handles and things like that. Yes. All right, now I think that's it. But again, so you don't have to have this. If you've got a walking foot, you don't need Teflon tape. If you're not doing vinyl, you don't need either. If you're not doing rivets, you don't need a cam press. But things like good scissors and rulers are pretty much a must. And realistically, you should really get Wonder Clips. If you don't like Wonder Clips, you can also get these funky things. They're like hair clips. Alligator clips, I believe they're called. Because they'll hold further in. So you can do either type of clip. I have both because I wanted to see which one I like more. I like Wonder Clips more than these ones, but I do still use these. It's not that I don't use them. I just use the other ones more. But yeah, so I hope that was helpful. I can't really think of anything else at the moment. I'm sure something will come to me as soon as I cancel this. But yeah, I hope that was helpful, guys. And I will talk to you all again soon. Bye.